You know, this thing about socialism, I got to play just the briefest clip of Stephen Colbert talking about socialism. And the reason I say this is Stephen, I don't mean to just pick on him. He is representative of an entire class of Hollywood elites and intellectual elites who think this way, and that Stephen Colbert can come on and preach to people every day with this level of thought, this level of dopiness is an amazing thing. It really is. I wish there was some way to stop it without violating our core beliefs in free speech, but there's not. I mean, we have to call it out. Listen to this.
On Halloween, kids literally go door to door to get free candy from the neighbors because the kids don't have it and the neighbors do. That's socialism.
That's socialism. The kids going door to door saying trick or treat, and the neighbors have candy, and they give the candy to the kids, and that's socialism, with one exception. In socialism, the kids have guns, and the neighbors don't want to give the candy, but they have to. That's the difference. That is the whole difference. The fact that Stephen Colbert could stand in front of his audience of millions and say that to them is insane, and the fact that only Donald Trump really calls them out the way they need to be called out is just amazing. I mean, listen, here is a Wall Street Journal just talking about some of the things that they're proposing. Medicare for all sounds great. This is Bernie Sanders' plan. It's been endorsed by 16 other senators and would replace all private health insurance in the U.S. with a federally administered single-payer health care program. Government would decide what care to deliver, which drugs to pay for, and how much to pay doctors and hospitals. Private insurance would be banned. And remember when they first started talking about this, and we started talking about death panels, and they started saying, no, there won't be death panels. There'll just be a panel that decides when you die. But it won't be a death panel. It'll just be a panel of death, you know? I mean, that's what it'll be. But of course there is. And of course you get fewer drugs. You get less research. You people who are young, you get old, and suddenly those pills aren't there that'll keep you from getting dementia. You won't know why. It'll be because of that. The Green New Deal. This is Alexandria Occasional Cortex put out her plan for this. This idea is endorsed by 40 House Democrats. Several Democratic presidential candidates would require that the U.S. be carbon neutral within 10 years. It's just like I was kidding around on Knowles' show. They want to be progressive because they want to progress to the point where we're all living in the jungle with tattoos and rings in our ears and nose and face. You know, that's not progress. How on earth? 11% of U.S. energy is non-carbon. How on earth in 10 years are you going to get to 90 more percent, 89 more percent? And as Ocasio-Cortez imagines it, all of this would be planned by a select committee for a Green New Deal. That's the Soviet Union. That's the Soviet Union. People, those wonderful people, going back to this idea that people are good, that people are wise, that people can control things and make them better, instead of this wonderful system, capitalism and free market capitalism and freedom, where each one of us, out of our own self-interest, bargains our way to a better world. Why does that work? Because each one of us wants to get ahead. And in order to make a free and open deal that's non-forced, that is not little kids with guns going around saying trick or treat or die, like hand over the candy or die, which is what socialism is, that in each agreement in a free market system, both parties benefit. If you didn't think it was worth handing over your X number of dollars to get your phone or to get your TV, you wouldn't do it. And if the TV people didn't think it was worth giving you the TV to get your money, they wouldn't do it. Everybody benefits when the choices are made for free. And another thing, they're proposing a guaranteed government job for everybody to assist in this 10-year transformation of society. The Green New Deal's authors would provide all members of our society across all regions and all communities the opportunity, training, and education to be a full and equal participant in the transition, including through a job guarantee program to assure a living wage job to every person who wants one. How? How are you going to do that? How are you going to pay it? And, oh, by the way, they want the government to control corporations. This is Elizabeth Warren. I mean, I'm much more worried about this than whether she's a Cheyenne or an Apache. I mean, she wants a new federal charter for businesses. If a business makes more than $1 billion in annual revenue, companies would have to answer to more than shareholders. Employees would elect 40% of directors who would be obliged to consider benefits beyond returns to the owners, like a better world. Amazing that the government wants to tell businesses, how they're going to construct themselves. I want to say, funnily enough, Nancy Pelosi was asked about this new Green Deal, and she said, it will be one of several or maybe many suggestions that we receive, the green dream or whatever they call it. Nobody knows what it is, but they're for it, right? That's Nancy Pelosi. So we have the lady from San Francisco, this radical from San Francisco, dissing the Green Deal because that's how far left they've gone. You know, it's all about ideas, and underlying these ideas, there's a lot of things underlying it, but one of them is the idea that people are good, that if the government could just run the corporations, they could do it better than corporate people acting out of self-interest, because they don't have self-interest. Alexandria, occasional cortex, she doesn't have self-interest. She's good. She's good. No one is good. Not one. And that's the problem. Listen, that's the problem with racism, is not the fact that you think other people are bad. Other people are bad. It's that you're just as bad. That's the problem with racism. But it's also the problem with leftism, because basically you're saying there is someone around more fair, more just, better, who can make the decisions better than a system that pits us against each other, each of us looking out for our self-interest. Can't be done. Why? Because there is no person like that. When Jesus comes back, he can run the government. Until that day, I want to be free. I want to be free.